Welcome to the historic City County building. Settle down. I know you're excited. It's Pittsburgh's 200th birthday. That's 200 years and going strong. You know, it was in 1816 that Pittsburgh turned from a borough into a city. Who knew? We thought that we were a city going back to 1758 when Fort Pitt was founded, but it wasn't so. Pittsburgh was just a place at the forks of the Ohio where a fort was constructed by the British. But in 1816, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, in its wisdom, Mike Terzai, decided that it was time for Pittsburgh to become a city and to have all of the trappings of a city: a council and mayor, law and order, constables, streets, schools, a justice system. That all happened in 1816. And we're gathered here today to recognize the 200th anniversary of Pittsburgh. I'm Andy Masick. I'm the chairman of the Pittsburgh Bicentennial Commission. And that commission is a group of people who have come together working with the mayor and city staff to recognize Pittsburgh's 200 years. On that commission, on the fundraising side is Sylvia Fields and Dennis Yablonsky. On the education committee, you're going to meet Esther Bush, head of the Urban League. The Bridges Committee is headed up by Jay Costa of River Life and Jeremy Waldrop of the Downtown Partnership. The Events Committee is headed up by Tinsy Labrie from Visit Pittsburgh. The Preservation Committee is headed by Mary Frances Cooper of the Carnegie Libraries. The Communications Committee is led by Kevin McMahon of the Cultural Trust. But there are hundreds of other partners that we can't name today. But please, if you're part of the Pittsburgh Bicentennial Commission and one of our partners, would you raise your hand and give a whoop? Whoop! All right. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for all that you're doing to help Pittsburgh celebrate its 200th birthday. Now it's time to introduce Vivien Leigh, President and CEO of River Life. Vivien?
When you think of how the city of Pittsburgh has changed over the past 200 years, consider the view from the rivers. As a relative newcomer to the city, walking along the river's edge was one of the first things that I did, and it was one of the best ways for me to gain perspective about our beautiful city. The convergence of the Monongahela and the Allegheny rivers into the Ohio River are the reason why Pittsburgh is where it is today. Over many millions of years, the natural landscape evolution, along with the Ice Age, formed the river valleys of this region. The terrain provided a location for diverse cultures to encounter one another, to settle, and to conduct commercial activity. At times, the rivers were a highway for trade and industry, opening up Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh's goods to the rest of the country. At other times, though, the rivers divided neighborhoods and created barriers that required bridges, many, many bridges, and boats to overcome. Imagine the view from the Mon River of the J&L steel mill on the south side over the past 200 years. It's impossible not to stand there, where South Shore Riverfront Park now sits, surrounded by trees and grass and the sounds of people enjoying the riverfront, and not to think about what the site once was, how the river seemed to be out of reach behind the blast furnace, how countless men and women made their living there, and how that industry paved the way for the beautiful, greener, and smarter city of today. We are fortunate to be in the middle of glorious days for Pittsburgh's riverfronts, where renewal has blossomed throughout the city's river's edges. We also remember that things were not always this way, and that it took vision, determination, investment, and concerted community leadership that started back in the days of David Lawrence and Richard King Mellon and continues today. I'm excited to be with all of us today as part of that ongoing vision that is opening up a more beneficial and inclusive riverfront for all. Our rivers and cities are flowing with opportunity, but we must make sure that opportunity is accessible to everyone. 200 years from now, our hope that our future successors see that this celebration set the stage for many wonderful developments that further enhance and establish Pittsburgh as the special center for American innovation, beauty, and creativity, contributed by many people from all diverse walks of life. The rivers will be witness to the steps we take now and then in the future to keep making Pittsburgh even better. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor, and also to the Bicentennial Committee.
Vivien Leigh, River Life. Thank you. Now, some of you have asked me, Andy, why is it that Pittsburghers hate to cross rivers? Do you know the answer? Why do Pittsburghers hate to cross rivers? They like to stay in their own neighborhoods. Well, in 1816, when Pittsburgh was founded, guess how many bridges there were in Pittsburgh? Anybody know? 0! A big goose egg. There were no bridges in Pittsburgh in 1816 when we first became a city. To get across, you had to take a ferry, or you had to swim, or you had to splash across on foot during low water in August. I think that might be the origin of Pittsburghers hating to cross rivers. But today, we've got 600 bridges. We've got more bridges than any city in America, and we've got river life that's helping us use those rivers to best advantage. Next up, it's Esther Bush. She's the president and CEO of the Urban League. She's also the chairman of the Education Committee for Pittsburgh's Bicentennial. Esther Bush.
On behalf of the Education Committee of the Bicentennial Commission, I am so pleased to welcome the student representatives from the various Pittsburgh public schools to Pittsburgh's Incorporation ceremony. I really want to acknowledge one of our very special Education Committee members, Leigh Sturgis, who's the Executive Director of Pittsburgh History and Landmarks, for pulling together this activity you're going to see in a moment to celebrate our incorporation. First of all, I want you to raise your hands when I call out your school. I know we have students, parents, and teachers on both sides of me. So I believe we have students here from Pittsburgh Carrot. Raise your hand. From Brookline, Beechwood, Kappa, Fulton, Morrow, the Student Achievement Center, West Liberty, and Whitaker. And is there anyone else that I missed? Okay, we have a few more. That's wonderful. So welcome students, teachers, and parents. You are making history today, celebrating Pittsburgh's 200th anniversary with us. I would like to introduce Megan Bernard. Megan is from Pittsburgh Whitaker, who has a message for the mayor and Dr. Masick. Okay.
Mayor Peduto and Dr. Masick, I'm pleased to represent about 25,000 Pittsburgh Public School students. I'm here to let you know that many Pittsburgh Public Schools created birthday cards for the City of Pittsburgh. Most of them show our school and important characteristics. Many students have signed their names or initials on the huge cards. We all wish the City of Pittsburgh a happy 200th birthday.
Great. Outstanding. Let's look aside. Right there. She is a 5th grader and obviously doing very well in school. And now, this is very special. Very, very special. I would like for everyone who has a Pittsburgh Public School birthday card to hold it up high and to just come across the front of the stage. Please just hold it up and parade across the front of the stage. We want to make sure
Hold it up high.
the cameras and the audience sees all of these beautiful, beautiful birthday cards. Hold them up high. Please let them through.
Hold it up high.
Please let them through. And in April, all of these beautiful birthday cards will be on display here in the City County building. And I want everybody to come down and totally appreciate all of the cards. Thank you very much. Let's keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Excellent.
Hold it up high.
Many of our schools are significant architectural landmarks. Many are listed on the National Registry of Historic Places and listed as city historical structures. Hold them up high, please, as high as you can. As high as you can. Outstanding.
Nice hold the light on this.
Okay, yeah.
Turn it around. Face that way.
Face
Hold it
that
up
way.
high. Hold it
Face
up
that
high.
way. Hold it up that way.
Around, ladies.
So the cameras can see you.
Yeah.
Show the mayor.
Lift it up high.
Show the mayor.
Hold it up, ladies. Oh, that's great.
We had at least 46 schools participate. Let's go fast. Let's go.
Hold it up high.
Thank you. Let's go.
Hold it up high.
Hold it up high.
It's a birthday card to Pittsburgh.
This is fabulous. Happy birthday, Pittsburgh.
Happy birthday, Pittsburgh!
Thank you so much. And now there is somebody in the audience who is extremely proud of what we just did. And her name is Dr. Linda Lane, Pittsburgh Public School Superintendent. Please come up and make a comment.
Well, good. I'm checking the time. Yes, it is still morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And I am so happy to be here with you today to celebrate a 200th birthday, because we don't get to do that very often, do we? Pretty special. Yeah, every 200, it's amazing, yeah. Ms. Bush, we thank you. We thank the Bicentennial Commission, the Mayor's Office, and everyone that first put this great celebration together for us. But also, I thank you very much for thinking about the kids and how they can participate in the 200th birthday celebration. And as you see, they had a great time doing it. But that's not all that's going to happen this year. As our children go through their curriculum next year, they're going to have a unit or some lessons in regard to the bicentennial. They need to know the history of their city. And so our staff right now is getting that ready. Our 9th graders especially do a service project every year. And we're going to be talking to them about how can they use their service project as a way to celebrate the bicentennial. And so that civics class, which we call Be the Change You Want to See in the World, helps our young people get ready to represent you. They will be someday standing here. They will be upstairs in those offices, and we want them to be ready for that. So we thank you all so much. And there's one thing more I'd like to ask you to do, is tomorrow evening in Hershey, PA, Alderdice High School will be playing for the Boys State Championship. The first time in their history as a school. So I ask you to send up a shout out for Alderdice boys. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. And moving right along very swiftly, on behalf of the Education Committee of the Bicentennial Commission, we really want to underscore the fact that we want our students engaged and involved. And I want you to understand that around each of the birthday cards, the students have autographed their name or their initials. We know that some of them are going to be future mayors. Let me say this as I close out. I know Andy's getting nervous. As I close out, this is Women's History Month, right? March is Women's History Month. And so we just want to say a historic hats off to some of the women that have contributed to our great city. Like our one and only female mayor, who is Sophie Maslow, the world-renowned environmental writer, Rachel Carson, and the only woman of which a bridge is named after her, our legendary civil rights champion and community organizer, Elma Speed Fox. And then we went way back in history, and we found Mary Irwin. Mary Irwin started a business with her husband, a rope business, before we were even incorporated. And so I want you to appreciate, respect, and remember the women who have made a contribution to the growth and development of Pittsburgh. And happy birthday to Pittsburgh. My name is Esther Bush, and I approve this message.
Esther Bush, another woman who's made history in Pittsburgh. All right, now the moment you've been waiting for. The 60th mayor of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's Mayor Bill Peduto.
Andy, happy birthday. Wow, this is great to see so many people here today and celebrating the history of our city. I have to give a special thanks to the committee that put this together, the Pittsburgh Bicentennial Committee, and Andy as the chair. Thank you. Also, a special thanks, and I'm not going to name names because I'd forget, but to the folks from my office, Parks and Recreation, Public Works, and the city employees. We didn't have a lot of resources to do this, but they did it in a way that is very respectful of our history and very present for our future. So thank you as well to the city employees that put it in. It's my honor to introduce our county executive, who will introduce the dignitaries and elected officials that are here with us. It's very Interesting to note, 100 years ago today, Mayor Armstrong placed the cornerstone of a new building on Grant Street. There was a building that worked between the city and the county, the city-county building that we're standing in today. He also put a time capsule in, and if anybody knows where that is, I'm having a hard time finding that thing. Hopefully by July 9th we'll be able to locate it for our next party. But it's my honor to recognize our partner, our county executive, Rich Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Mayor, and happy birthday. What a special day. Pittsburgh being a place with such a great history, but also the good thing is we have a great future as well, so we're lucky to have that. And to be named one of the smart cities in America just last week. Congratulations, Mayor. We all knew that. And what Pittsburgh has always been, as the hub of this region, has been about partnerships. And I want to acknowledge some of our other elected officials who are here with us today. At the federal level, I want to thank Senator Casey, and Liz Fishback is here representing him. At the state level, we have from Governor Wolf's office, Mayor Aaron Mulchaney. We have State Senator Leader Jay Costa. We have Speaker Turzai, who's here with us today. Representative Dawn Costa, Representative Dan Miller, and Representative Hal English. And of course, from our city government, we have our city controller, Michael Lamb, and every single city council person is here today. Obviously, President Bruce Krause. We have Darlene Harris, Teresa Cale Smith, Natalia Rudiak, Corey O'Connor. Excuse me, I'm choked up over that one, Corey, I'll tell you. Daniel Lavelle, Deb Gross, Dan Gilman, and Reverend Ricky Burgess. What a great day it is. Great day to be in Pittsburgh. Congratulations, Mayor. Keep going.
Thank you. 100 years ago today, they laid this building, the cornerstone, understanding the importance of city-county cooperation. But it was 200 years ago today that the city of Pittsburgh became the city of Pittsburgh. Before that, as Andy has said, we were a borough. And it was only through state action that gave us the ability to incorporate that happened. And to celebrate that 200th anniversary, we have Speaker Mike Turzai from the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. Speaker Turzai.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, thank you so much for inviting me on behalf of the state from the House of Representatives. You're doing an amazing job, and it's so great to be with everybody. Bruce Krause, I know you're doing a great job with your team at the council. Rich Fitzgerald, county executive. Dr. Linda Lane, you've just been phenomenal. We admire your great work in the City of Pittsburgh schools. Just outstanding. My mom's family was from Greenfield, Oakland, and Hazelwood, and so often we were coming into the hub of our region, as the county executive so greatly put it, and all the great communities in this fine city of Pittsburgh. And then, of course, having been an assistant DA, I was next door over in that county courthouse for those many years. Just a beautiful city, and you continue to do a great job with the city council and working with the county executive. Whereas on March 12, 1816, the General Assembly passed a law to incorporate Pittsburgh as a city, which at the time had a population between 5,000 and 6,000 residents. And whereas the city of Pittsburgh will kick off its celebration of 200-year anniversary of that incorporation with this special celebration today. And whereas the event will acknowledge innovations that created mighty industries and world-class medical and educational facilities, and recognizes the challenges that we face in making sure we continue to have great schools. And also, just I have to say to Andy Masich, because it talks about the Heinz History Center and how you protect the heritage of this city and this region. And we hope you find that time capsule. We really do. We certify that the House of Representatives recognizes this great bicentennial for the city of Pittsburgh. Thank you so much, Mayor, for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Also to present words with us today is the minority leader of the Pennsylvania State Senate, Pittsburgh Zone, Senator Jay Costa. Senator.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank all of you for being here today. And on behalf of my colleagues in the Pennsylvania Senate, we want to say certainly happy birthday to the City of Pittsburgh. And one of the things that we want to talk about as we go forward, and I'm very, very pleased, Dr. Leigh, for you working to make certain that you incorporate into the curriculum for the children the history of Pittsburgh. That's tremendous, and what we're going to do is the kids that walk before us, they're going to build on that history as we go forward. But thank you for making certain that that becomes part of what we talk about. There are wonderful things that are going on in the City of Pittsburgh, and my hat's off to Mayor Peduto and his administration, our city council members and the work that they've done, but it's also the collaborative working with Mike Doyle at the federal level, my colleagues, Senator Fontana and Senator Vlakovich and Senator Brewster and Rethenshaw, all of us working together to make sure that we work and try to advance the City of Pittsburgh to allow the wonderful things that are taking place there. I've got a family, like many of you here today, my family, I was born and raised and educated in the City of Pittsburgh, and so very, very proud of what's been done here. Our family has a long history of being a part of the City of Pittsburgh, and we're so very proud of what's been done in the past, but more importantly, the great work that's being done and the future we have before us. So we're very pleased to participate in this celebration. Happy birthday, City of Pittsburgh, and many, many more. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. March 18, 1816, Pittsburgh becomes the City of Pittsburgh. July 9th, we get our government, we get our council, we get our seal, which was taken from William Pitt's family, and our flag. We get our charter, which is here, and we get our first mayor, Mayor Ebenezer Denny, the first mayor of the City of Pittsburgh. It's my honor to recognize and to bring up Harmer Denny, the sixth generation grandson of Mayor Ebenezer Denny. Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Indeed. A short comment that I'm very proud to be here representing Ebenezer Denny, first mayor of the City of Pittsburgh, in this rich exposition of history and celebration here in the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Denny. Honored to have you here with us. So today, we celebrate Pittsburgh's past, and you can go through the booths and tour this wonderful building and feel the rich history that we have. Tonight, we celebrate the culture of Pittsburgh in an open ceremony in the Cultural District with all the galleries open to all the people. Our history and our culture is what makes Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. But today, we mark a new milestone too, the next 200 years of this city. We are a city that has survived a fire that has decimated us. We have survived floods that have held us back. We have survived environmental degradation. We have survived disparity between the haves and the have-nots. We have survived economic collapse, only to return today as one of the top cities in this country and one of the top cities in this world. And our mission for these next 200 years is to keep Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, and to make it a Pittsburgh for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bill Peduto, number 60.
Number one in your heart.
But number one in our heart. All right, it's time to unveil the charter. That's right, 200 years ago, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania engrossed a charter. That means they hand wrote in a flourish, in an oversized hand, the official document, the birth certificate of Pittsburgh. We have it here under wraps. It's been in the state archives for the last 200 years. It's been professionally conserved. We have a team, Mary Frances Cooper's team on the Preservation Committee with John Paul Deli and Ed Galloway, and of course, Mary Beth Doheny right here on the city staff, the city clerk. What a great job they've been doing preserving our history. You'll see in some of the cases around the Great Hall here, some of the original documents of Pittsburgh. You'll see the very first minute books. You'll see the very first maps. Take the time to take a lap around the Great Hall before you leave today. But now, Mayor Peduto and kids from the Pittsburgh Public Schools, would you help us unveil the Charter of Pittsburgh? Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. As you come by, later on, take a look and see the organic document, the original document that created Pittsburgh. Today, if you want to go on a tour, a behind-the-scenes tour of some of the out-of-the-way places, the places that aren't seen every day, the vaults of history, there's a sign-up sheet over there to the left of the door. Every 15 minutes, there'll be tours during the day until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, let me just take a moment to recognize the many volunteers and exhibitors who have helped make this day possible. We also want to recognize right now Eaton Park for the cake that they prepared for this special day, and the cupcakes, which are here for you to enjoy. Where are those cakes? Is it that away? Be sure and get your cupcake. Thank you everyone for coming today. This is a special day for Pittsburgh, but you know what? It's the people of Pittsburgh that really make this a special place. It's not the buildings, it's not the streets, it's not even those rivers that we hate to cross. It's what's in the heart of the citizens of this great city. Thank you all for coming today, and happy birthday, Pittsburgh.